If you're going through an anxiety attack, or if you know about somebody else who is going through an anxiety attack, watch this video till the end. This is a short video, and in this short video, I'll teach you one, what you should do and what you should not do. The intention is to help you to cope up with the situation much better, and also ideally to remedy the anxiety attack. I'm GamakaShri, Chief Trainer and Coach for Mind Designs International. Anxiety attacks are very hard things for people who are not trained to deal with it. The reason is anxiety attacks come from a place of a rational fear. One cannot see the fear is wrong. One cannot say it is misplaced. Fear is usually rational. It is based on true facts. My first client about anxiety attacks, he was going through two things. One, he could not stop having a shower, because he felt that I might have some soap left somewhere in my body. So he has to get showered multiple times till he can come out of the washroom. He also couldn't come out of the house, because the moment he comes out of the house to get somewhere else, it would take about 2-3 hours, even if it is another house close by. The reason is everything around him, if there's anything on the floor, he would think there could be money under that. And he will have to check all of them. He'll have to check all these, the boxes, the tree leaves, newspapers that are dropped on the floor, everything that he has to check to make sure there's no money under any of them. Now, do people find money on the road? The answer is yes. Do they find it all the time? No. We, in rare occasions, find money on the road. Do people leave soap some part of their body after a shower? Some people do. If you get a shower or have a bath in a rush, there could be soap left behind in the body. Does it happen to everybody all the time? No. So these are not irrational fears. These are very rational fears. One of my latest clients, what that person was going through was they were afraid of dying young. Do people die young? Yes, there's a lot of young people dying for sicknesses, due to war, because of accidents, because of the things that they get engaged in. People die young. Does everybody die young? No, very small fraction of young people die. A lot of them grow up to be adults. Again, it is not an irrational thought, it's not an irrational fear, it's a rational fear, but taken into extreme. Here's what you should not do. If you're suffering from this, what most people do is they keep thinking to themselves, I don't want to think this, I don't want to think this, I don't want to think this. If you know somebody else going through this situation, and if they share this detail with you, you might tend to tell them, don't think that, don't think that. That's what you should not do. That's what you should not do. You should not tell yourself, I don't want to be thinking this, I don't want to be thinking this, in a repetitive cycle, or try to think the reverse of that. Your mind would emphasize the original idea even more strongly the moment you try to do that. It doesn't happen to everybody. There are some people who can just cancel out the thought that is occurring in their head. But for mass majority of people, if you try to tell that I don't want to think this, I don't want to think this, you would notice that the idea just persists. It just happens more and more. So, and telling the person not to think that is not helpful, because they already know they don't want to think that, and they find it very hard to stop that. So that is what you should not do. Then what should you do? You need to do two important things. First step is to understand or help other person understand that this is a true statement. There's nothing wrong with this statement. This statement is true, but it's extreme. So it's a rational thought or a fear that is taken to an extreme level. It is taken as a true fact, even though it is a sentence that has only a very low percentage of truth, maybe 1 in a million, maybe even less, very low percentage of truth. Understanding that it is a rational statement with a very low percentage of truth, so we are taking it in an extreme level, is not going to remove the thought. Oh, it's not going to remove the fear. Remove the fear is going to stay, but it's going to have a lesser grasp on you. It is going to have a lesser effect on you. However, it is a very important step for us to get to the next step. Because when it has a lesser grasp on you, you can do something else. You can think something else. You can look out and see the trees and think of the trees, or look at your pet and think of the pet. You can direct your mind to something else without conflicting with the mind, without saying, I don't want to think this, or without trying to think the reverse of that thought. You can focus your mind's attention to something entirely different. You can get engaged in some other activity. So, this step is going to stop that thought process. To get to that step, it is very important that you yourself, or if you're helping somebody else, to understand that this is a true sentence, however, it is taken in an extreme level. So, what you shouldn't do is try to stop this thought process by either thinking the positive, thinking the reverse of that, or by telling yourself, I don't want to think this, or telling the other person, stop thinking that, or telling them to think the reverse of that. Yeah, I'm not saying it is ineffective, but if you're watching this video, it probably is ineffective for you. There are, of course, other people who can just stop thinking thoughts. These people are extremely rare. So if you're watching this, you're probably not one of them also. What would work for you is to realize that this is a rational, true sentence. You're taking it in an extreme level, and then focusing on something extremely different, something entirely different. So give it a go. Practice this diligently in your life. If you are having an anxiety attack, practice this diligently in your life, and practice realizing that this is a very low percentage uh, truth. It's not a full absolute truth that you're stuck with, and then focus on something else. The idea is not to fight with your mind, rather to redirect your mind to somewhere else. I'm really excited to know how this works for you. I have seen wonders happening to all my clients, overcoming their anxiety attack and getting their life back on track. So I'd really like to know what is your results with this. You can let me know via WhatsApp, Signal, or Viber. I'll put the contact details somewhere in the video and also in the description. I'm GamakaShri, Chief Trainer and Coach for Mind Designs International. Jai Shri.